getting fiber to a home or by a home is one thing, but getting people engaged and using it is another. Deb, why don't you tell us what you guys are doing in Chattanooga to help people really use the fiber asset?
You know, folks need to know how it can improve their quality of life, so training is essential. But training really only works if the people in the training trust the trainer. And so we do a lot of train the trainers. So a member of a church might present it at the church, a librarian might. And what happens because of that is that the person not only automatically trusts the trainer, but if they have a problem after the training's over, they know who to talk to. So that situation where trust is a part of the solution is the most successful.
Well, and let's talk about Chattanooga a bit, because Chattanooga's been out there at the edge with fiber, so they saw the need for this, I guess, early on, right?
Chattanooga was the first gigabit city. Then we had 10 gigabits. Now we've got 25 symmetrical. It really does set us apart. And now, of course, with the quantum network, we really are far ahead. I think we've got EPB is an amazingly innovative, thoughtful group to work with, and I think it has really changed what's happening in Chattanooga.
And so tell us a little bit about your organization. How do you do this, Train the Trainer?
I work at the Enterprise Center, and it is a nonprofit partner to the city and county, and we do a lot of work around digital equity. Tech goes home. We do some work with telehealth, with economic development, with citizen engagement. We work on all of those. And so you could really think of it this way. We work at the intersection of people and technology.
And your background is interesting because you're an educator.
I was a teacher and a principal for 32 years, and I really saw the value of these resources. And what I realized was that they were unfairly distributed. So the more affluent schools had what they needed, but the poorest schools did not. And it didn't seem fair to me that we were asking the children to learn the same things without the same resources. We wouldn't give some children a textbook and some not. And this is no different.
You've had some programs in Chattanooga. I heard something about 17,000 people already impacted by it.
When the pandemic hit, immediately we realized the children were all going to be home, and so many of them had no home access. So we were part of a group, EPB, the city, the school department, the county, philanthropy, and our organization really helped to structure and implement a project called EdConnect. And so 17,000 students in Hamilton County that attend their schools have free home internet, and it is at least 100 megabits symmetrical. Most have more.
And it's not restricted, is that what you said?
Yeah, we don't have any kind of nanny cam in there. We don't want there to be a poor people's internet and a rich people's internet. We should all have the same internet. And as a parent, whether I'm rich or I lack access, I should be able to make decisions for my own children.
And so, yeah, no filtering for inappropriate content or anything like that?
I don't think, interestingly enough, as an educator, one thing I know, if you put that kind of software on the device, the only people who can crack it are your kids. Yeah. And so it's not a really safe choice. It's a false sense of security, and we really need to be more diligent about monitoring as opposed to trying to add software.
That makes sense. You have a program that you kind of alluded to in your talk today. Next year, you hope to share some results?
Right. We have a project in one of the lower income neighborhoods in our community. They have a lot of negative health outcomes, and so we've been struggling to figure out how do we find resources to solve some of these problems. We wrote a grant to the Tennessee Valley, and they actually provided us with funding. And we're doing 1,000 free telehealth appointments. We're putting in new HVAC systems, indoor and outdoor air quality sensing, a wide variety of resources, all invested in one neighborhood to see if we can't change the way their health outcomes have been.
And so next year we may start to see some of the results, you think? Or?
I imagine you will. I feel like we've come pretty far already. We're installing some of those HVAC systems and still working on the telehealth because HIPAA laws and all of that make it very complex. But we're also writing a toolkit so that people could do what we're doing in another community.
Well, I was wondering about that. As a nonprofit, do you stay within the confines of that geography, or are you expanding beyond Chattanooga?
Our organization works all across the state on a variety of projects, mostly telehealth and digital equity related. But in that one neighborhood, we have additional resources because we just wanted to see, can we change outcomes? And if we can, we'll be able to figure out how to fund it in the next community because we'll have the data.
Excellent. Well, Deb, I wish you luck with that project and continued success.
Thanks so much.